Hey friends! This summer I had the opportunity to take a mission trip to some incredible places. I want to take just a couple of minutes to share with you some of the highlights. At the beginning of July, our team of 25 people flew from the United States to the Philippines. When we arrived, we were met by a team of Filipino pastors and evangelists who would work alongside us as drivers, translators, and mentors in the evangelistic task. Our goal was to take the gospel into all the public schools on the eastern half of the island of Mindoro. This was an incredible opportunity, and we did not want to miss it. We began each day around 4 a.m., split up into teams, and spread out across the island. Each team would visit as many as 16 schools in a day, gathering students into assemblies and sharing a short gospel presentation. This format allows us to share with thousands of students every day. By the end of the first day, I had already shared the gospel with more people than I had in my entire life up to that point. Over the course of 2 weeks, we were able to share the gospel with over 120,000 people. We gave each student an illustrated gospel booklet in their own language. I would love to share with you more of the stories and lessons that I learned from this trip, including how I grew in my faith and developed a deeper love for God, for others, and for the gospel. God showed his faithfulness and equipped us for everything we encountered. We endured some challenges, but all of my concerns were overshadowed by one fact, that the gospel is the power of God unto salvation, and it is worth sharing. After our time in the Philippines ended, my friend Emmeline and I flew to the country of Papua New Guinea on an island just north of Australia. Our goal in PNG was to meet missionaries in a wide variety of roles, to hear their stories, and to experience day-to-day life in this extremely remote corner of the world. PNG is a beautiful country, lush with colorful flowers and exotic birds. In some ways, it's a tropical paradise, but spiritually, most of the country lives in darkness. There are over 800 languages spoken in PNG, many of which are unwritten, and most of which do not have the Bible. During our time here, Emmeline and I were able to sit down with over a dozen missionaries, from church planters to Bible translators to bush pilots to teachers and nurses and other support staff, and hear their stories. One of my favorite memories from the trip was our visit to the village of Koval. Koval is a tiny mountain village. This bush location is home to about 1,000 people who work in their gardens to provide for their families. We took a helicopter to get there and stayed for several days. While we were in Koval, we had the opportunity to see the church planting process up close and get a glimpse of the reality of life in the bush. When I used to imagine missionary life in the jungle, I had a limited understanding of what it looked like, based off a few books that I'd read and pictures that I'd seen. But when you're there in person, face to face with moms and dads, kids and grandparents who have never heard the gospel, looking into their eyes, sharing a meal in their home, smelling the smoke of their fire, shaking hands that are rough from years of working in their gardens, you start to see things differently. As my teammate Emmeline says, getting involved in missions gives you an opportunity to get caught up in something bigger than yourself. You don't have to go to the other side of the world to do that, but traveling does provide a glimpse into the reality of the darkness of sin. It gives you a new perspective on brokenness and suffering, and a deeper appreciation for the love of Christ and the hope and power of the gospel. One day, we will worship before the throne of God alongside Filipino students from Mindoro, brothers and sisters from the bush village of Koval, and from every tribe and language and people and nation. Each of the thousands of precious image bearers that we saw overseas is destined to face judgment someday. God graciously invites us, the church, to participate in his plan for reaching the nations and bringing them into his family. What an adventure! Your support, encouragement, and prayers made this trip possible. I want to say a special word of thanks to the members of Liberty Baptist Church in Liberty, Missouri, where I'm a member, and to the members of Lighthouse Baptist Church in Xenia, my home church in Ohio, for their support. I also want to say special thanks to Dr. Joe and Mrs. Christy Allen for leading our time in the Philippines and for being our biggest cheerleaders. And thank you to Jody Brown at the Bob Tebow Evangelistic Association for handling our finances. Last but not least, thank you to John and Amber Adams for hosting us and planning an incredible itinerary in Papua New Guinea. I am so grateful for all of you.